They may still turn heads in a park or at the supermarket, but mixed race families are nothing new. Whether they're blended families, interracial marriages, or cross-cultural adoptions, America has a long history of mixed cultural parents and children. Some of the country's most famous families with an unusually rich and diverse ethnic heritage include those of John Lennon, Heidi Klum, Tiger Woods, Halle Berry, and President Barack Obama. As you can see, multiracial and interracial families are becoming more common as time goes by. So what defines a multiracial family? A multiracial family is one that consists of one or more family members whose race differs from those of other members. They are typically formed as a result of interracial romance or miscegenation. Miscegenation is the mixing of different races through marriage, cohabitation, sexual relations, and procreation. Multiracial families are also formed through transracial adoption. This is adoption of children of a race different from those of the adopting parents. So exactly how many families are interracial? Due to changes in the ways people can report race on the census, the figure is difficult to calculate. Current census data leads us to believe that multi- and interracial families are steadily increasing. Here are the numbers. There has been a 20% increase in the number of interracial marriages in the United States since 2000. That is, about 4.5 million marriages are interracial. Between 1990 and 2000, there has been a 65% increase in the number of interracial marriages in the U.S. Today, about 4.9% of all American couples are interracial. 20% of all Americans have a close family member who is of a different race. Between 1970 and 1990, the number of children born from interracial marriages grew from about 500,000 to 2 million children. According to an article in USA Today, mixed race relationships are more common among same-sex couples than heterosexual couples. Unmarried heterosexual couples are more likely to be interracial than married ones. Families still represent a substantial bar a lot of couples cannot get past. The rates of intermarriage with Caucasians are higher among American Indians, Asians, and Hispanics. African Americans are the least likely to marry a person of Caucasian descent. Despite that, black-white marriages have still increased from 3% in 1980 to 10.7% in 2008. Growth in Hispanic white marriages has slowed, and the percentage of Asian white marriages has dipped. Highly educated minorities tend to marry outside their race more often than less educated minorities. So what is causing an increase in interracial families? Researchers have identified four main causes. The first cause is structural changes. There are now more opportunities to intermarry due to new immigrants who have entered the United States each year over the past decade. Compositional shifts of the population have also increased the chance of interracial marriage. Minority groups have a greater exposure to the majority white population as they become assimilated into the social, political, and economic life mainstream American society. The second cause of the increase is marital preference. Americans have a greater racial tolerance than ever before. For example, in 1987, only 48% of the American public agreed that it was okay for whites and blacks to date each other. That percentage has increased to 83% since 2009. Balance of power is another cause of the increase in interracial families. There is a balance of power between young adults and parents. Parents and the family of origin's ability to constrain who you marry has dramatically declined. Finally, there are fewer restraints and barriers preventing interracial marriage. Prior to 1970, anti-miscegenation laws existed forbidding people of different races from marrying. Multiracial and interracial families encounter and are confronted with many challenges and stressors concerning their race. One struggle that many families face is having multiple identities. A core struggle for multiracial families is how to define themselves racially. This definition is influenced by their physical appearance, their family values, and also their geographic location. In addition to the normal couple issues that same-race couples encounter, interracial couples face problems with family acceptance, societal pressures, and social stigmas. Family members can disapprove the interracial relationship. Interracial families receive the stare from the public, and they may feel pressured to try to fit into only one race. All of these problems combine to contribute to the high divorce rate among interracial couples. Interracial couples have a greater marital dissolution rate than same-race couples. Interracial children and multiracial children also face disadvantages because of their race. Categorization and racism pose a problem for interracial children. Categorization refers to the need to place everyone into a category. An interracial child does not fit into a single category and may not fit into situations that use a racial category system. An interracial child may also encounter an identity crisis because he or she embodies two or more racial groups. Finally, there may be conflicts between the child and his or her family members. Family members on one side may not understand or accept the child's other side. A positive aspect of being interracial is that the child gets the opportunity to appreciate and value different cultures. Transracial adoption is one way that interracial and multiracial families are formed. Transracial adoption is adoption of a child that is a different race than that of the adoptive parents. 1,000 to 2,000 African American children are adopted by Caucasian families each year through transracial adoption. 7,088 children from other countries were adopted into U.S. families in 1990. Transracial adoptions accounted for more than 14% of all adoptions in the U.S. in 1990. And transracial adoption families face some of the same problems as other interracial and multiracial families. In conclusion, interracial and multiracial families are becoming the new face of America. America is becoming more diverse. Multiracial families are the face of the future.